Hello, hope you guys are doing well. All right, so as I declare to you that I will be doing some video tutorials for you, uh, kindly follow through. So to begin with, you would start your web server, and that's it where I have my web server in my Windows machine. So I'm going to activate the Windows machine. Okay, so you guys might not have this, but I would have it because I have different platforms used for teaching. I sometimes teach in Linux operating systems and then Windows operating system. So since you guys are new to this, we'll be using the Windows environment. So I start off my web server. Okay, this is it. So as I told you, you guys might be using XAMPP as a server. All right. So I am using MAMP. MAMP. Okay, so I'll patiently wait for Apache to be activated. So you see this is Apache. I'll wait for it to be activated. So automatically it is activating. Okay, so MySQL 2 has activated. So I'll patiently wait for everything to settle in before going on. Okay, so by this time everything has been settled. Then I can minimize this. And to be sure that my server is up and running, I will go into my browser. So I'm using Google Chrome, and I will type in the URL localhost, one word, and enter. So once I get a page, if you are using XAMPP, it should show XAMPP, and if you are using MAMPRO, it should show MAMPRO. So this means that I've got my server up and running. So what I can do is to minimize this. Now to start with, I would uh, go into my drive C, drive C, and enter into the MAMP folder. If you are using XAMPP, you should go into the XAMPP folder. Then locate the htdocs. Okay, this is the htdocs. In your XAMPP 2, you will find the htdocs. Now you would create a folder that's going to contain your website. Okay, so in this case, I'm going to create Dede as the website name. Dede, you can see it here. So I can minimize this now. The next line of action is to turn on my Sublime. I told you to have Sublime installed. So Sublime will come up. Now, when yours comes up, it's likely you will not see so much on it. Okay, but if it is that you have been using it for some time, then you can find all this. Right. So this was what yesterday we worked with. But today we want to work with Dede. So I would drag Dede folder onto the Sublime Text. All right. So when you do it, you should see the day hiding in this corner. You can see it here. So here, since I have the day there, I'll just click on it and you see the arrow changes. So meaning that we have now opened the day folder. Right click and create another folder called images because we'll be using images in there. Right click again, then create CSS. We'll be using CSS. Then create Java scripts. Even though we're not yet there, we just want to make sure all these folders have been created. Then we'll create the file. All right, so we will save it. Control S to save the file, or you can come to the top here and go to save. Have you seen it? Okay, it will still open up this. Then you type in the first file, index.html, index.html, and you save it. Now at this point, you can start with your HTML codes. So you see, I'll just type HT, then it kind of knows that I'm referring to HTML. If it has not been activated, I'll have to click the enter key for it to activate itself. So at this point, I will put in the day's website. Okay, all right. So we want the site to look a certain way. All right. So first of all, we use a table. Okay, we would write out the table row, then write out the table data. Okay, so this will exist, but there will be nothing in it. So I'm going to give it attributes. So a width of 1,000 pixels, a height of 700 pixels, and I'll give it a BG color of my favorite color, red. Then I'll give it a border of 1. The border is usually the border, this as it's around a table. All right. So with this, I will save. Okay, and then go to my browser. Okay, where I open first. Then /dd as a folder. So once I do that, see that this comes. All right. So it is telling us that a table has been declared with a width of 1,000, a height of 700, a BG color of red, and a border of 1. So when you go in, you'll see that exactly what we have done. Okay. So we want to align it to be centered. So we say align, we use the code align. Then you say center. Okay. We are instructing the table to look a certain way. Reload, then it goes to the middle. Okay. So it means we are on track. This is what I want to see. But at the end of the day, we want to divide this into 3 rows, 4 rows. Okay, 4 rows, 4 rows, because we have a layout, certain layout that we are trying to design. So when I go to images, I have I have this design here. All right, that which we'll be working with. You see this? So these are images that we'll be working with. All right. So in order for us to get this image across, we would actually copy them and dump them into our images folder. Okay. So with this, for instance, I'll just copy all of this. Okay. Then go into my Man Pro. Okay. htdocs, and then locate the day. Then into the images folder, I will drop this. Now, this ones I would like to change the view so that I can see them well. Okay. All right. So with this, I want to rename this as 1. Rename this as 2 so that it makes calling them easy. 3. Then call this 4. Okay. After the banner, I can leave it like that. All right. So I have these images there in the day folder. So what next? I would create certain rows. Okay, so the first row, Let me give it a name. Let me just call this banner, and then copy the rules. Okay, hope you are following. Right, following. So now I'll go ahead and change this one. This is the banner. This will be the menu. Okay, this will be the content area, and this will be the footer. Okay, then I save. Let's go back and view. So you see that this is what we get. We get the splitted columns. Now let's go back. I think this we can make this one 8 so that it becomes plenty. Okay, so the next line of action is to put in our banner. All right, we put in a banner in here. So this banner actually is where it's going to be an image tag. Okay, so we put in our image tag, img. Then we give a path. So the path will be images slash banner dot jpg. All right, jpg, so that the image tag is just one. We don't have to close it anyway. Just leave it like this. Okay, so we'll save. Then we'll come to refresh this, and then you see that we have the image appearing. Okay, see the image has appeared within this cell. Okay, so the next line is to introduce our menu. Our menu will put in a table. Okay, a table tr and td. Excuse me, I need to respond to this call. Hello, good morning, ma'am. Let me add them here. Um, um, nti na pɛ sɛ mefa ne a sɛ mede wo ka sɛn ansa na masɛ no but ma mm, okay, okay, I okay, ɛbɛsi next week. Okay, all right, okay, all right, meda ase na mehyia wo. Sorry, I had a call. So all right, so we are back again. So at this point, we want to introduce our table. No, sorry, our table data. Okay, all right. So now here you realize that we want to give it a width that is about this length. So a width that will start from here and end there. So a width that starts from here and end there is what? 1,000. So we will say 100% of it. Okay. At the initial part here, we cannot see 100%. All right. Here we are going to give it the actual size at the mother page. All right. But within it, we want to say 100% of 1,000. All right. So all tables within it, you can use percentages to represent it. All right. So when we get to the height, sorry, when we go to the height, we would say the height should be about just 50 pixels. All right. It shouldn't be too high. All right. And then we will give it a BG color of say What color did I give it last time? I gave it blue, light. So we can say light blue, light blue. Okay. And let's say border will be 1. Okay, so let's save and see how it will look like. So you see we have it here. Right. So we would go in and now declare the links. So home, since we want it to appear in a certain way, we will say home about, and here will be contact. These are things that you usually find on websites. Okay, the primary links. Right, so we'll save it, and you see we have it showing here. We want to make sure we have it aligned to the center, so we'll put in a style. This style will say should have a text align center, centered. All right, centered. Okay, and then maybe the color, the font color should a color can we give? We can give it blue. Let's say blue. Okay, give it blue. Save and refresh the page again, and there we have it. All right. So now that we have this, we can go ahead and then introduce um, the content area, a table. Okay, so we're going to introduce a table in here. So table, and as you see that so far, we've just been using tables to do the trick. All right, just tables. Okay, so let's say we have given a table to this guy. We can also copy this, all right, and then give this table to this guy. And we'll call here footer. We are putting the footer in the table, right? So this table will come to call this the content area. Okay, so let's still demarcate it as the content area. All right, then we'll give this width 100%. Don't forget 100%, 100%. Then we'll give it a height of 400, 400. Okay, because we want it to be from here to down there. So that is the height we are giving it. Okay, so then we will say we'll give it a BG color of yesterday we said blue. We give it a certain color blue. All right. Okay. So let's say pink. Sorry, so it was pink. Pink. We gave it pink. Then border 1. Okay. Border of pink for now. This will do. So let's save it and see what happens. So good. So you see it has taken shape, but let's not forget that we want to have two different uh, containers. So we will copy this, right, and drop it down there and call this sidebar. And call this sidebar. Let's save. And then in doing so, we would come here and specify the color we want this to look like. Already this is looking content area. So we'll say this will have a width of 70%. 70%. And then let's make the color the same. Then this width will be 30%. Okay, but we'll give you a different color. So we'll say BG color should be purple. Remember yesterday we gave it a purple color. Okay, so reload, and this is what we have. Okay, so as a matter of fact, we are almost there. So the last portion will be the footer. All right, so the footer we want to make the width 100%. Okay, and the height we give it 50 pixels. Okay, then BG color we say should be black on black, and give it black. All right. So watch this. See that there's a footer here, and because I'm going to give it a black color, it will vanish. Okay. So to bring it back, I would introduce a style, an inline style, and say text align center. All right. Then font color. Now one you just type color. So the color represents the font color. So font color of say white. Right? Want it to be visible, white, and then maybe a little bit larger. So we'll say let's say text. Let's say font. Let's say font size. What that font size will come. So, right font size. Uh, um, font size. Text. No, it's not seeing it. Okay. So let's I'll get it back later. So let's wanted to increase the size of it, but now you wait. We'll get to that later. There's a code that I must get in, so I remember. All right. So we see we have it now shown down here. Okay. All right. So even though we have this here, would I would want to change the format of this. At least you can see this happening here. I'd like to change the format of this and rather introduce the images that we have there. Okay, so instead of we having this here, we would in place of this put in the images. So let's uh, let's go back here. So here I would clear off. We have 100%. So if you want to divide the 1,000 into 4 sections, let's say we'll have 25, 25. So it's 1,000 divided by 4. We have 250, 250. That's going to be the width. Okay, 250, 250. So in other words, if in terms of percentages, we're going to have 25%, 25%. So let's say instead of having this different colors, I would I'll take off this BG color. Okay, all right. Put my machine on charge. Okay, so here we would make this 25%. I'm just reorienting the whole thing. Okay, then this will become 25%. 25%. So I'll just copy this again, or if I just want the 4, let me just go in for this and just paste here. It just repeats it, but I would, in place of this, indicate the image tag. Okay, so images, all right, slash, this time 1.jpg. So what I can do is just to copy this one, then replace it with this. Copy this, replace it with this. Okay, so when we save this and go back here, we should find something like this. You see that all these images are coming out. Okay, images are coming out. So another thing too I could do was, you see that when I placed in this particular place has been exposed. So it means that the images appear larger in size. So what I can do is to take off this sizes. So instead of width, I can just take off this. There's no need to put this because it looks like it is taking too much space. There's no need to demarcate. The image itself came or comes with a certain width size. Okay, so I will save it, go back and refresh the page. Okay, it looks like the images appear bigger. So that is why it has shifted this. The images are not of the same size. So I will come in and introduce the second image, the third image, and the fourth image. Remember, I renamed them so I can easily call it. That makes me the developer. So now you can see that the images have appeared, right? I've called the images. Once you're able to get one showing, it's easy to get the rest falling in place. You get it. So uh, this, for instance, the image at the top, we could fix that problem. I was expecting it to be bigger, but it looks like the image at the top doesn't have the 1,000. The image at the top doesn't have 1,000. So let me verify the size of the image. Yeah, it's 1,000, but strangely enough, it is not showing what I expected it to show. It's showing 1,000. Let me say this: 215, 215, 215, 250. So the weight is 250 by 250. Anyways, that is the problem you get using tables. When we get to diffs, you realize that diff will have a bit more control over this. Okay, so let me just fit in. Let me go back and verify this. This is 300 by 1,000. So let me go into the code and then type in a width for the banner as 1,000, then the height as 300. Let me see. I want to see whether it will fold up the page because so it's, I think it's the same size. There's there is some latency. There are some spaces in here causing that problem. Uh, with uh, oh, okay. Let me see. I don't know why this is happening. So the height is correct. The width. Let me see why this is happening that way. 1,000. Okay. Let me call this 1,000 instead of the. Let me see whether it will to fix the problem. No, it will not fix the problem. Okay, so that's some of the disadvantages of using a table to get things like this done. Okay, so let's just leave it at 100. percent. Okay, so we've been able to accomplish our task. Look at the coding very well. So we set out a table. Okay, then we demarcated the row. So this row is for the banner. This second row is for the menu. So you see that it ends here for the menu. You can see this. So after this row, then we'll come to the content area. So that is where we have the images. You can see it. Okay, so this is where we have the images. The last row is for the footer. This is it. This is it. So these are the footer. This is what goes into the footer. Okay. All right. So for now, this is what we get using tables to achieve this design. Okay. You can use tables to achieve this design. Uh, Assuming we don't want this color being shown too much, we can do a bit of a design to it. So that design um, we can use the Photoshop to pick up that color. So how do we do it? We'll introduce a certain depth image to it. So I'm looking for where I have played the image. So this is the image. Okay. So we want to pick up this uh, darkish color around this area. Okay, so we'll click on this and then we'll pick up this darkish color. Okay, so that it blends at the environment. So when you click on it, look at it. When I click, I use a color picker to pick it. It generates this color, meaning that it is picking the exact color that is there for us. Then we'll go into our application. Okay, so where we have the banner showing, we can decide to give it a different color. So instead of the red showing, we'll put in this color. All right, then we'll put in the hashtag. The hashtag represents that color. So we'll save it. Then we'll go back and refresh the page. So you see that it has given introduced some kind of darkish feel to it, so that this would blend with the environment. Okay, it will take such a sharp eye like yours to identify this. But this is the case of table. You are just used tables to arrive at this. Okay, using tables to get it done. When we get to CSS, everything will be fine. So thank you so much for your time. I hope this is helpful. You are able to follow through and then get your work going. Thank you so much for your time.